Hello, everyone. Welcome to First Lutheran Muskegon's first virtual faith formation class. And what we're bringing you today with Abram and Tofik is Holy Moly! The stories, the fun, the activities. We are excited to bring this to you today. So, Abram and Tofik, are you ready for the story today? Okay, let's get started, friends. Miss Paula is reading from the Spark Story Bible. So if you'd like to turn to page 30 in your story Bible, you may follow along or you may just listen. Here we go. God's promise to Abram. God came to Abram and made a promise. Abram, you are very special to me. I will take care of you and give you lots of children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. But Abram asked God many times, "Are you sure? I don't have any children yet, and I'm very old." "Are you sure?" Abram asked God. God thought Abram needed something more to help him understand. So God took Abram outside and he showed him the night sky. Your family will include as many people as there are stars in the sky. God told Abram, have you ever been outside? Have you ever looked up at night, looked up at the stars and tried to count them? Abram stared up at all those stars. He couldn't begin to count all those twinkling lights. Stars and stars and stars all around him. Abram looked up at the stars and saw God at work. Abram believed God. Now for another promise, said God to Abram, you will need a place for your huge family to live, so I will give you the promised land. Are you sure, God? Abram asked again. God made a covenant, a promise with Abram. And this promise would be that Abram would become the father and a grandfather and a great-grandfather and a great-great-grandfather and a great-great-great-grandfather, and on and on and on. And all Abram's many sons and daughters, grandsons and granddaughters would live with God in the land on which Abram stood. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story today, and I know that you will enjoy all the activities that go along with it. And so our friend Miss Susan, and you know Miss Susan because she has been with you for a long time in your classes here at church. So Miss Susan will come and she will tell you what's in the activity kits. Thank you for listening. You are awesome listeners. And look up at the stars and see if you can count all the stars. Goodbye.
Hello, I'm Miss Susan. Welcome. We're excited to have you join us for our virtual Holy Moly series. We are going to use the Spark Storybook Bible along with the Holy Moly series. The Holy Moly series is from Spark House, and each family can stop in and pick up a supply bin for with colored pencils and other various supplies that you will need for the Holy Moly series this year. There are also going to be 4 weeks worth of activity sheets. So each family will stop in at the beginning of the month and pick up the next 4 weeks of activities. And we will include instructions for the activity. So you parents do not have to try and figure it out. There are instructions that will be included. We have two groups though. We have the beginner version of activities, and then there's a little bit more advanced version for the older kids to enjoy those as well. So there will be instructions in both, along with a little bit more information regarding the Bible stories, so your family could talk and discuss about even more details behind the scenes that are in the Bible. When you open up the activity sheets, you will see that they will actually turn into the activity. So we have an example of this week. When you get your activity sheet, this is the first week, and this is the beginner version of the activity for this week. We've got Abram and Sarah, and they've got their tent, and there's all the stars above. So remember when Miss Paula and the puppets were telling you the Bible story today? So that reminds you of the Bible story. And for the more advanced activity, you will have a chain links up to the stars, and there's a little bit more of thinking behind this one too. So hope you enjoy that. And then we also will have each week a little bag of extra goodies for you all to enjoy and help remind you of those Bible stories. This week we have the star that you can draw and write your name on. You can post it on yourself. You can post it on your wall to remind you about God's promise with Abraham and him looking up at the stars and seeing how many descendants that he could have, even in his old age. And then we also have the flashlights for you to look with too, and as well as a couple of the foam stars. We hope you enjoy our series and hope you have a great day.
Well, what'd you think about all the big promises God made today, Tafik?
Well, I don't know, Abram. I guess I'm going to look up in the sky tonight, and I'm going to look at all those stars, and I'll think about all the children of Abraham and all God's promises. I'm so glad we got to tell this story today, Abram.
Me too. Thank you, God, for all your promises.
See you next week. Bye-bye.